Hello everyone, and welcome to a new sort of series where I do a little bit of the Barnyard Animal Pack, and I've done a little bit of work. It came out, and I had the motivation to do it, so I did a little bit of work. Um, Ignore this. Um, so I've done a little road here. I've used some blueprints of the workshop, and I've just started to kind of theme the area a little bit. I've added a little staff facility there, which I've modified. And yeah, I've kind of just started theming out a little bit. I'm basing it off the UK countryside because that's the best one. And I've made a little blueprint of a grass piece. I'm going to post it on the workshop. Um, and it's just this little meadow piece here, mixed with some Yorkshire fog grass and some flowers. And I thought I'm just going to start my first habitat, which is going to be for the Highland cattle. It's going to be here. It's just going to be a little farm. You're not going to be able to walk in or anything. It's just going to be to look into it. And then I might have a little one later down the line where you can walk in and maybe do it or something. I might have it free roam, like a little free roam farm, and maybe they can walk in a little bit, but we'll see what it's like. I kind of want them to do a little bit of a farm, and I've done a little bit of new. I didn't know they added this. They've added some actual maize plants, which is quite interesting. And they've also got some of these new flowers. If I can find, I don't think I've placed them down yet. But yeah, they've got these new flowers, which are very interesting indeed. And yeah, I'm just gonna start the episode, and I thought I'll just go in game and just show you a little bit. But yeah, I love these gates, and yeah, I'm just gonna add some shops here. Um, as I have hide all the staff, just paused it as soon as they've landed. Um, but yeah, I'm just gonna over here. It's gonna be the Highland cattle area. I have got some Highland cattle. I've tried to buy as many animals I could, but yeah, I have got a long black fur one. If I just look now, oh, there is another one here actually. Oh, there's some quite good ones. Let's just get these two females. Um, oh, cream one. Hello everyone, and the time lapse is about to start. And I'd just like to say, in this video, I will be doing some Highland cattle facts in the middle if you want to listen to them. And yeah, if you'd like this video, that'd be greatly appreciated. And if you'd also like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'm like to get to 200 subscribers. That'd be my goal to reach, and I'd be so happy if I get there. But yeah, that requires you all to hit the like button and the subscribe button. And yeah, I just love that. And if you do want to be named after any animals in the park, you know I'll have all the barnyard animals. So do pop in the comments and just write your name and what animal you want to be named after, and I'll do that for you. And it works as first come, first serve. So yeah, that'd be greatly appreciated. Also, just to add some facts about the farm, I've named it after Sycamore Farm, and I'm doing this because of the Sycamore Gap in which is if you don't know, it's basically the Roman wall which was built. It's called the Hadrian's Wall, and it was built to separate Scotland from England. It's not like massive like the one Donald Trump built for the Mexico and US. It's not that big. It's a little petty little brick border like the one here. And I kind of just wanted to separate it and make it very Welsh, I would say, this border. But yeah, this is heavily inspired by the UK, which is where I live. So I have seen many of these. And one comment I would like to make is the hedgerow. I don't know why, but I feel like it's not small, but compared to the hedgerows, well, where I've been, the hedgerow's absolutely humongous, and I just feel like I don't know, I just feel like there should be a hedgerow where it's a bit more compact, but like a little bit bigger. I just don't know. I think it's a bit small, so I have to use more more of the plant to kind of fit it in. So it's a little bit weird, but it's fine. I love the hedgerow, love that addition. It's the best. But yeah, I've gone with a flower meadow blueprint, as you can see. This is kind of like a mix between all the conservation pack things, like the Yorkshire fog grass is the main compartment really, and just a little bit of the flowers on top. And then on top of that, I'll put the bushes and the sunflowers just to add a little bit more. I am thinking about next episode, I'm gonna do like decorate a little area past through that next to the staff building. Um, yeah, and I'm gonna do a butterfly garden with all the I forgot what they're called now, but there's two European butterflies. I know there's the European peacock and there's something world swallowtail, something like that. I can't remember what it's called. I'm not that good with butterflies. But yeah, that's also going to go in there. And I'm just going to try and incorporate it in with the sort of lush, flowery thing. And then, yeah, I'm just going to pass that through. And I think what I'm going to have at the end of it, maybe like a little nature pond. And I think if I have some like free roaming mute swans, that would be quite cool. Because you do get that a lot in the UK, a lot of the free roaming sort of like swans and geese and ducks. But I'm not installing mods for this, so I'm just going to do the mute swan which we have in the game. I know we have a couple more English animals in the game. Pretty sure it's just the deer, but I don't think I will add the deer in this. Even though European fallow deer does have a um, petting thing, I don't feel like I've ever seen a European fallow deer before, so I'm not going to add that in. But I have seen lots of red deer, so I will not add them in. But you know, they don't have a petting zoo function, so it doesn't matter. About the petting sort of animations, I don't know about you guys, but they look so cool. And I am thinking about adding in maybe an animal which has it. I don't know. You guys can choose, but I definitely want an animal which is not necessarily a farm, but like I feel like some farms have this like a random exotic animal. Like the other day, I saw one and it just had a like, random raccoon. So I thought it'd be quite a cool addition to have like something like that, even though that doesn't have the petting thing. I just thought maybe there's an animal which I can use. Um, but I have seen, and I'm thinking maybe I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to have a look through the list again. I keep forgetting it's all new, but I do like the capybara. Um, I think capybaras are quite an animal you would see there. But yeah, it'd be really cool. But yeah, I'm really excited for this pack. I'm pretty sure I have footage or like a voice recording of me in previous ones saying that I wanted a petting zoo lot farm pack. I'm pretty sure. If any of you guys remember that, do let me know because I remember doing that and talking about it and saying I really wanted one. So I'm so glad we got one in the end. And yeah, I'll let you enjoy the video and you'll see me in a minute for some Highland cattle facts, which won't be long, so don't worry about that. Bye. everyone, welcome to the part of the video where I share some Highland cattle facts. But yeah, this is my favourite animal of the pack, in my opinion. I don't think necessarily the model has done it justice compared to the others. I think they went a little bit lackluster with the texture of the fur. I like the one on the front, but I don't know why they didn't carry that out through the whole body and make it really, really fluffy. But they've definitely got a subspecies, which must be some sort of dwarf one because they've got a really small one. And when I've seen them, they have been pretty big. I've only seen them on a few occasions, but they are pretty big. But I've only been to Scotland once and I didn't see them there, but I have seen them elsewhere, and yeah, they're pretty cool and they're really fluffy. I think everyone underestimates how fluffy they are, but nonetheless, they are like a yak, you could say, in the way they're built. They weigh about 500 to 800 kilos, and that's about 1,000 to about 2,000 pounds, which I don't know why, but that doesn't seem like the weight of the ones in game. The ones in game look about 300. So, yeah, it's a bit weird, but yeah. They live for about 15 to 22 years, so they last for quite a long time for a cattle species. Cattle only last for about 15, they're about the same really, 15 to 20 years. There are some cattle which can go quite old, but these can withstand quite well. They're very good at lasting for a long time because of their where they live and how they've kind of adapted. But yeah, they're really clever. They're actually one of the most smartest species of cattle, and they're just really easy to keep in general as well, which is quite good for farmers. But yeah, they're very independent in that way. They don't tend to feed in the barns, which is why I've got the feeding barns outside, but I've added the extra. You can see later on that I've actually added ones outside. I found the blueprint, which I found online because I don't know, but when I use blueprints, I feel like it just reduces time and they're also better than what I could do. Like, I'm not very good at building stuff in this game. I'm quite good at building stuff in like Minecraft with blocks, but I cannot build stuff in this game for my life. I don't know why. I can do like the foliage work, but not like nothing like they do. So really impressive on how they do it. But yeah, so the Highland cattle has these impressive forward-facing horns. These long horns are used to defend themselves from predators, which there used to be a lot of back in the times, because these are actually the oldest known cattle species, the oldest kept cattle species. Um, and yeah, they're just really clever. Just I don't understand why they need the horns for predators. Um, but I think it is mainly because in Scotland they had a few predators. There would have been I don't know, they used to have the Eurasian lynx up in Scotland, and they used to have wolves. The wolves make sense, but I don't think the lynx would be able to take a cattle. It's too big for a lynx. So I doubt that would have been. But as I said, the Highland cattle are very old. They are one of the oldest known species, ranging around Celtic origin, which is about the 6th century AD. But the first written references to the Highland cattle date back to the 12th century AD. But there's about a couple of types, there's about two, which are both extinct, except the Highland cattle. So these are the ones that are doing very well. But yeah, they spend a lot of their day eating. They actually spend 8 hours of their day grazing, and if it the temperature drops below minus 18 degrees Fahrenheit, which is basically pretty cold if you do degrees Celsius as well. I do it, but I don't know why they've got Fahrenheit here, but that's what I've written down. And they require additional feeding when below that. So if, let's say, you want to feed them more, that would have to be quite a challenge because they prefer to forage on their own. So usually, if you do them further south or towards the equator, that's more likely that you won't need that, but they might overheat. So get the trade-off. They have three color variants in the game. They got the black coat, the pale coat, and the brown coat or the tan coat or golden coat even. That tan golden coat is the majority of the species, But the pale coat is also the second most common. You see a lot of pale ones around. That's just mainly because of the lack of pigmentation sometimes, and it's a recessive one, but it's not like as rare as the black one, which is very rare. Um, that's actually known as a West Highland cattle, which are quite small, but they actually have the black coats. Um, and the ones which have black coats are usually the ones that live in harsher conditions. So they might be the ones that live off some islands or something, um, and that's where they get the most rain and the most storms hit them. So yeah, and it's mainly because they can absorb more heat with the black fur, which is quite interesting. The differences between them are quite hard to tell, but there are subspecies. There's not many subspecies, but there's a dwarf sort of one, which is a very small one, and then there's quite a large one, quite a stocky one. The one is basically just in the game, there's a bigger one and then there's a smaller one. We have the smaller one. So, yeah, if you can imagine how much bigger they'd get, I would see they're in between the size of the donkey and the current one. So they're not too much bigger, but they are quite a bit bigger. But yeah, they follow normal cow. So the female's called the cow, the male's called the bull, and the baby's named the calf. And talking about babies, they have the same time as us and about how we look after our young. They take around 9 months for their pregnancy, and usually they only have one, but like us, they can have twins and triplets. Um, Usually, if they have triplets or twins, they do have the risk of dying, the mother, and the babies can survive if like yield properly. But they are quite like the babies are quite reliant on the mother, and the mother's also very reliant on them in a way where she's very careful. It kind of keeps her sane, and yeah, she nursed them for about 6 months, which is quite a long time. Um, yeah, that's a very long time really for a mother to look after their child. Usually they kind of like kick them out around 6 months. When I mean that is some species, like the smaller ones, kick them out, but like the bigger mammal ones, like big cats, they have to train them. So for a herbivore, it's pretty good for a cattle to be looked after for that long. But usually they sit there and just kind of like eat all day. So don't expect them to do anything interesting. Although in the game they do have some fun animations, which I have not seen yet. So I'm enjoying to see them while I build my what do you call it, a farm up. And yeah, I'm really excited to do this Sycamore farm. And yeah, I'll see you on the next episode where I will start on the butterfly farm and that road leading up to a pond which will have a mute spawn in it, which I won't build, but that's just going to be kind of that leading. And in the butterfly farm episode, I will incorporate the butterflies, obviously, and then I will do a separate sort of road to link the where the pond's going to be and the thingy. And I will have a maybe I might do a chicken coop. I don't know what I'm going to do. I could do a pig. I think I'm going to wait for the sheep. I want multiple habitats for the sheep. So I'm thinking of maybe doing a pig, a chicken, or a goat. But we will see. There won't be a donkey. The donkey will have a bigger area. But yeah, I will see you on the next one. Bye.